I got a funny feeling. I got a funny feeling.
What is up, guys? On today's video slash lesson, I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I do to be profitable in the New York trading session. Now, I want to go ahead and let you know this. At the end of this video, you are going to obtain a tiny surprise that could potentially benefit you. Now, when it comes to this scenario, I'm going to be breaking down from beginning to end of my New York trading session. And when it comes to that scenario, you are going to be able to obtain all the terminology and overall the thought process that I am having throughout this whole trading here. Now, when it comes to this, I will be trading USD CAD and also GBP/USD, and you will be seeing me how it is that I break it down from beginning to end, as far as where does I break it down, why I break it down, where does I enter, why I enter, what are my thoughts throughout entering on this trade, and what are my thoughts throughout the trade running, either in profit or in drawdown, and what it is that I do so that way I can overall not risk my profit. So with that said, let's get to it, let's get to the video. And remember, at the end of this lesson slash session, you will be having a little surprise. So with that said, let's get to it. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mauricio with another lesson slash session. Today is March 29th and it is currently 7:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Currently the pairs I am looking at is at USD CAD on the 5-minute time frame New York session, looking for a potential sell. As you guys can see, I have a 1-to-3 ratio potential trade, and this can lead us for a potentially 1-to-5 ratio, which is what I am currently looking for. Okay. The 1-to-5 ratio will lead us for about 50 pips take profit, and the 1-to-3 ratio will lead us for about a 30 pip take profit. Moving on to GBP/USD. GBP/USD, I am currently looking for a potential buying scenario. For this specific pair, we are looking at about risking a potential 20 pip stop loss, a nice 1-to-3 ratio first TP, which would lead us for a potential 62 pips of take profit. Now, when it comes to TP2, as well, I would be looking for a potential 1-to-5 ratio, leading us right above these equal highs over here and targeting these areas up over here in that area. That would lead us for a potential 1-to-5 ratio, leading us for a 100 pip take profit. So risking 20 pips to gain 100 pips, 1-to-5 ratio, that'd be TP2, and TP1, a 1-to-3 ratio, risking 20 for gaining 60 pips. Now, this is a nice potential continuation to the upside. This is GBP/USD, and we are looking at New York session as well as USD CAD. We are looking at New York session as well, and we are looking for market to move to the downside on this case scenario. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys later with the after results. Awesome. So now we are looking at some rejection. Now it's been 30 minutes past, and as you guys can see from the entry level, we are currently up now. Not a lot. We're up about 12 pips, and we did have some drawdown. We have a minor drawdown coming down to 10 pips, and the main reason why is due to the fact that the market went ahead and retraced back into this zone right here. Now, of course, we could have gone ahead and put limits down over here. However, it's not always the case, and most of the time it hits around this same area. So what I went ahead and did, I went ahead and wanted to be sure that I got inside this trade. And as you guys can see, we are now running profits. Moving on to USD CAD. Now when it comes to USD CAD as well, same scenario. We did have some drawdown. We had minor drawdown for about 5 pips of drawdown. Market did come and tapped into the zone over here, as you guys can see, tapped in very nice into this little point of interest. For those that have been following on the previous lessons, you guys know what point of interest is. And we are now currently moving down, and I expect for market to continue moving down once I am about 15 to 20 pips profit on this specific pair. So coming down over here, I'm going to go ahead and move this to break even. Same scenario with GBP/USD. As soon as I am about 20 pips profit with GBP/USD, so moving around the 50% back up into the zone, I'm going to go ahead and move this to break even. One of the most common scenarios that a lot of individuals have is the fact that they do not move this to break even. Now, let's say in this worst case scenario that market comes over here, we make it to break even, and then market comes back down and retraces and stops us out at break even, you have to understand that this, even though it broke you even, it's a win. And the reason why it's a win is because you did not lose. You're preventing losses from being created, and at the same time, you're seeing how your strategy is working out perfect to your advantage. Now, one of the misconceptions that many people do is they don't get out of their trades when they're supposed to. Now, for this specific trade, I'm going to go ahead and run it for a 1-to-3 restore ratio, and then potentially down over to the 1-to-5 restore ratio. Once it hits the 1-to-3 restore ratio, I'm going to move this to well, it should already be out break even. Not just that, but I'm going to take 25% of my position out, and then let the 75% of my position run all the way to the 1-to-5 restore ratio. Same case scenario for this one. 1-to-3 restore ratio, I'm going to take out 25% of the trade out, and then the rest I'm going to let it run to a 1-to-5 restore ratio. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and see how this moves on in the next 30 minutes to an hour. So we are running into some momentum for USD CAD. You guys can currently see that we have entered for that 20 pip range that we had mentioned for break even, and also running into GBP/USD for that same 20 pip range for us to move to break even. Now that you guys can move to the break even, I'm going to go ahead and continue with my day, move this to risk free, and let it run all the way for that 1-to-3 restore ratio, and potentially over to that 1-to-5 restore ratio. Now, if you want to go ahead and be part of the free channel where I go ahead and send out some analysis before and after they happen, you guys can clearly see the trade I had mentioned of this specific criteria and how it is that we are currently now in profits. Now, this is the recording of this analysis that we had mentioned earlier today, which analysis was made at 4:54 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is now 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So about 4 hours ahead, this analysis was able to go ahead and be dropped down for you guys to take advantage. As always, if you like the information being provided, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great one. Bye-bye.